You don't want to pay that. An alternative could be to sell for sale by owner. Well, let's see what's associated with that process. If you sell for sale by owner, you're responsible for negotiation of the price you're interested in. You're also responsible for liability. That could be structural damage that goes unshown to the potential buyer. You're also responsible for all the advertising and marketing associated with selling your home. Savant Core is here to concierge all of the necessary parts of our solution to our customers, starting with customer independence as well as customer savings. Savant Core creates a step-by-step process that allows our customers to regain their independence from a realtor in the home selling process. At the same time, Savant Core is centered around the idea of creating a convenient, reliable home selling experience that allows our customers to earn back savings. Here you see our initial solution. You can think of our product similar to TurboTax, but instead of doing your taxes, we help you sell your home. Our goal is to put all the resources necessary for home sellers to sell their home easily right at their fingertips. In the case of you needed a photographer throughout the process, we'll put you with someone based on your geolocation. Trends that we are going to leverage include a shift to online home shopping. A recent Zillow statistic shows that 9 out of 10 home buyers in this day and age are leveraging an online search prior to purchasing a home. We plan on giving our clients access to this marketing group and giving them a larger online presence. Traction that we've generated thus far is 80 page views across 38 users with 1 email signup. We were very excited to generate that email signup because it shows that people are interested in trusting an online platform instead of a realtor to help them with the home selling process. Our pricing scheme is as follows. We were thinking of starting with a tiered pricing scheme and initially building the entry level as well as mid-level tiers. As we perfect our workflows, we'll move on to the deluxe tier, which will be a direct competitor to the realtor's clients. We'd like to reiterate that our main goal is to provide our customers independence as well as savings. We aren't trying to find customers for our product, but instead we're trying to build a product for our customers. Thank you.
All right, 2 minutes for questions.
Record this.
Yeah, we're trying to provide independence to our customers that they usually wouldn't get using a realtor.
Did you find that anyone else is offering that?
We found that people are offering something somewhat similar, but it doesn't give as large of a support system as our platform would. So there's kind of a for sale by owner website out there already that kind of tells you the necessary steps, but it won't put you in direct contact with maybe a photographer, an appraiser, or things of this nature based on your location.
Why is it that people use realtors and why do they sell?
Yeah, so I think realtors is kind of the current status quo, and it's just what people are accustomed to. I think it is an easier process when you sell your home with a realtor, but I think that what could get people to potentially initially shift off would be our price difference, and then what could help people stay off would be the independence that we try to offer to them.
By events, I mean, like, they don't need to share, like, part of the,
Yeah.
they don't need to pay them.
Yeah, well, so for the independence, kind of, you don't have to sign a contract necessarily, like when you sell your home with a realtor, sometimes you'll go under contract. If you get a lemon realtor, you won't be successful in selling your home. And so we're trying to give basically an alternative to being stuck with a realtor, if that makes sense.
Which market research did you do in terms of talking to realtors, talking to buyers, talking to sellers?
Yeah, so we did our empathy interviews, and we found that we had a couple people who sold for sale by owner. We also had other people who sold with a realtor. It seemed that the general trend was not super fond of their general realtor experiences, and it seemed like for sale by owners were in general relatively happy with their selling experience. And we tried to put those two together and come up with a kind of supportive system to sell for sale by owner.
What do you think it costs to acquire a customer?
Cost to acquire a customer, that's a good question. Depending on how we go about marketing, it could be maybe $10 per customer, depending on where we get it from, if that's from a Facebook ad that we pay to put out there or something. But the revenue return per customer could be pretty large markup from the initial cost to gain a customer.
All right, feedback, 2 minutes.
I would try to be more clear and direct on what you do, like do that
Yeah.
faster
Yeah.
at the beginning of your pitch. And maybe a good way to do that is like, this is how it's done today, and this is what we bring to the market as an added value. I just like miss that
Yeah,
on the whole pitch.
okay.
I'd agree with that. I like the TurboTax for home sales. I understood what you did, but it was late in the pitch.
Yeah.
I wish I had a little more emotion in the pitch, but you have a very competitive set of people trying to do similar things, right?
Yeah.
So differentiation in your pitch also matters a little bit. And then my questions were around, like, again, competitive set, what makes you different? And then I'm not convinced you're not off by a pretty large margin on the customer acquisition cost.
Yeah.
I wouldn't vote against that.
So there's definitely something here, right? The house buying and selling process is challenging. For sale by owner is incredibly time consuming, and you've got to pay a realtor a lot of money. You pointed out those things. So there's a lot of white space there with a lot of opportunities. I think you need to more clearly identify what that white space is and get in there and do that. So I'm going to give you some feedback, but I don't want that to turn you away from it. There's
Yeah.
something here. I think you need a little more research, right?
Definitely.
So first off, I do think the average days on market for $1 million house is greater than 18 days, so
Yeah.
just be careful with that stat, right? With the for sale by owner, liability and negotiation, you pointed that out.
Yeah.
That still exists with the realtor. A realtor is going to come back to the buyer and say, do you accept this price, do you not? And you still have to work with the realtor to negotiate.
True.
And as the seller, you're still on the hook for any kind of liability. So those are not true issues with using a realtor. There's plenty of other issues, but
Yeah.
those aren't necessarily two of them. I think the demo needs some work.
Yep.
I'm interested in knowing what's different between you and Redfin.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and I think you need to quantify it a little bit. But again, there's good white space there for you to attack.
All right, thanks.
Cool, thank you.
Hi, I'm Joel Marquez, co-founder of Artisan. So earlier this year, a study was released regarding the different marketing strategies that universities use when recruiting. And interestingly, campus visits were found to be one of the most effective ways of transforming prospective students into current students. And so why is that? Well, when a student is deciding on which university to attend, finding the right fit is vital. A campus visit allows them to get a true feeling for the campus climate, and ultimately, it becomes a deciding factor on whether or not they choose that university. So how do students currently go about scheduling a campus visit? Well, they can either call or go online and register for one of the events put together by the university. However, these are typically months away, and it can very quickly become a hassle to plan ahead for both the university and for the students. Alternatively, a student can take advantage of virtual reality campus tours, which have become increasingly popular in the recent years. And while they do solve a convenience problem, they take away that physical visit to campus, which is crucial in finding the right fit. So how do we solve these issues? At Artisan, we take the best aspects of virtual reality campus tours and in-person campus tours and combine them to create the best campus visit experience for the student. And we do so through augmented reality campus tours. So Artisan is convenient. All of the information required is available through a mobile device. Artisan is customizable. The student can decide which areas of campus they want to learn more about and disregard those which they have no interest in. Artisan is hassle-free, so we get rid of all the scheduling and the planning ahead, and instead, students can use our application at their own convenience. And the possibilities are endless. Using augmented reality technologies, different events can be simulated right through your cell phone. Things like tailgate parties before sporting events, or seasonal differences throughout the year, and any other unique feature that a campus may have. And all that without getting rid of the most important aspect, which is the physical visit to campus itself. So we propose two different usage tiers for our product. The first being university-sponsored tours. And what this would mean is that a university can purchase a tour package, and then we would provide an interface for them to design that to best fit their needs. And then ultimately, they can make that available to all of their prospective students. And the second use case would be user-created tours, in which users can create their own custom tours and then make them publicly available for other students to use. And revenue can be generated there through advertising. So we plan to enter the market by first focusing on the University of Colorado Boulder and then expanding outward to other universities. Furthermore, the AR/VR market is predicted to reach $108 billion in the next 5 years, with a large portion of that being attributed to augmented reality. With such a rapid increase in popularity, that means that in the near future, virtual or augmented reality will be used in every aspect of our lives, from shopping to gaming and even education. So please consider joining us as we jump into this growing market and provide students a trustworthy solution to finding the campus that best fits them. Thank you.
All right, 2 minutes for questions.
Easy question. How do you like remove the hurdle of having, like, needing to have all the respective students with VR headsets?
Oh, right. So we wouldn't actually use a VR headset. It would be augmented reality, which you can use through a cell phone, and it's getting increased support. So like with the new iPhones and the new Pixel phones, they have dedicated hardware to allow that to be easier to, or more, I guess, improve the quality of that. But with the cell phone and using the camera, we can implement these augmented reality technology, which can then, using your camera, you can view like a real life image, and then you can append simulated models on there.
So it's AR, not VR?
AR, correct.
Did I miss pricing slide? Is there a pricing?
Right. Well, we talked about doing 2 different tiers, and one of them would be universities paying for these packages. We're comparing it something like UVisit, which is a virtual reality option for universities. We saw price ranges from $3,000 to $10,000 per tour, and we thought we can be somewhere around there, around $5,000 for our university-sponsored one. And then we did want to make one where users can create their own custom tours and then do some sort of form of advertising perhaps on there.
So you charge CU somewhere between $3,000 and $10,000.
Correct.
To run on campus.
To develop or to design their own tour.
What, are they doing it or are you doing it?
Well, we would be there for the support. They would provide the content that they want to display out, and we would be there to guide them along that way. But we would provide that interface for them to do so.
What's your interface for the users? Is it like an app?
Right. We were
Maybe
planning on
for
something
the
similar.
school?
What's that? Sorry.
So if the school, if you're a customer, right, the school, needs the school, they are the ones like recording, like getting the footage.
Sure.
What's the, like, what are you providing for them? Like just the app so that they can share it?
Right. Well, they wouldn't have to record anything. They can, as far as like they can choose what content goes on there, as far as like what kind of information they want to share out to the prospective students. But they wouldn't actually have to like record anything themselves. And we haven't like laid out the full detail on that, but there would be some sort of back and forth between us and them as far as like working together to create the package. But they wouldn't have to do any actual work recording anything.
All right, 2 minutes for feedback or a question.
Okay, yeah. Well, first of all, nice presentation, nice demo. Don't worry about answering the questions, just clarify
Sure.
for the next time you give it. Is it a self-service platform? Is that the product, or is the product what you're actually selling, the AR experience, right? Not quite sure about that. Is this really an issue for universities? Are there competitors doing anything similar? You know, thinking about this outside of the context of universities, I think there's a ton of use cases.
Right.
So I got married this past summer, and we had to go to something like, it felt like 50 different venues to go look at it. And it's really hard to visualize what is this going to look like when we're getting married. And if I could just put it on a VR headset and I could see different arrangements of, oh, well, it wouldn't help me, but it would help my wife out considerably, right? So
Right.
I think there's a ton of really cool use cases for this. So don't pigeonhole yourself into just the universities, because again, I don't know, is this really a problem for them?
Sure.
If you are going to focus on universities, who's the buyer? I like the idea of different events being simulated, back to the wedding idea. Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you.
I plus one all of that, and then some of, I have a question around market size.
Sure.
And that goes to what are the uses could this apply to?
Right.
It's definitely an interesting question there. Would CU give up control? Right? So, even like user-generated tours, they know that their brand is being well represented, is a question I have. And then the pricing, right, so it's like, it's pretty general.
Sure.
And curious, orders of magnitude, but it's 3 to 10, please.
Sure. Thank you.
Small feedbacks on slide 1, you said that tours are preventative for like a decision-making process.
Sure.
And some stat that was there, which I couldn't read what it was, but it was 15%.
Well, it was trying to compare, so inquiries to how many actually convert.
The feedback is that you want the slides, the visuals to support your message.
Sure.
And what I heard from this slide was definitive decision, and then I had like 10%,
Sure.
5%, like don't expect people to read it.
Gotcha.
So present like, a number that would support what you say.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you much.
We're part of the generation that grew up with a GPS device in our pockets. To a millennial, an address means nothing, but a pin on a map means everything. It's Saturday morning and we're looking for something to do. You've heard from your friend that the farmer's market is happening, so you decide to look into attending. Given a new event we want to attend, we first open up an event app to find out what it is and get an address. We take that address and open up a Maps app to see where the address is relative to us. And finally, we open up a messaging app to communicate with people that will be at the event with us. 3 separate applications to go from event discovery to creating a plan. Before the end of this process, we feel less inclined to attend. Hi, I'm David, co-founder and CEO of Flatiron, and all I wanted was some kettle corn from the farmer's market. Flatiron is the location-based platform for sharing experiences. It all starts with a map view, connecting both users to experiences and businesses to consumers. We augment the process of discovering, attending, and communicating within the boundaries of an event. Flatiron is your shared experience platform for fostering a greater sense of community. For example, we can learn more about the farmer's market, starting with a location and ending with communication. The map view allows us to find out when and where the farmer's market is happening. The location-based chat can be used to see what people are currently talking about at the event. Is the crepe stand still open? Is your favorite artist having a 1-hour sale? Or is there a hidden booth you don't know about? And most importantly, is any kettle corn left? Flatiron is the one stop for locating events, conversing with others, and continuing conversation after an event has concluded. We've built traction by marketing our Wizard of Oz MVP across campus, garnering over 2,300 page views, 380 unique users as well. That's more than 1% of the student population in CU Boulder. This has been achieved through the use of posters, table tents, and blackboards, all pointing students to our live MVP at Flatiron. These early adopters generated their own channels. In total, 40 channels have been created on the MVP. As you can see, there's an opportunity to tap into the viral market. With Flatiron's early adopters being college students, our traction is promising. This proof of growing and sustaining a user base introduces the ability to provide targeted analytics for our business partners. We've discussed what features of Flatiron consumers will love, but what will businesses revere? To show this, I want to shift from the farmer's market to a venue that connects almost 200,000 potential customers directly to businesses, the Consumer Electronics Show. Remember, it all starts with a map view, connecting both users to experiences and businesses to consumers. For exhibiting businesses, we will provide a platform for accumulating analytics to better understand the collective behavior of consumers. The map view allows each business to visualize the flow of foot traffic and view which exhibits are most popular. Furthermore, this gives the organizers and companies at CS the ability to segment the 184,000 plus attendees into their relevant target markets. These statistics tie into logistics too.